Okay, this is a kit that I done. I made the chicken in Silhouette software, the heart. This I didn't make, but I have it for the back. This is a stand, if it, you know, for that to go on, to let it set up, if should be that you want it. And this says, these are little letters I cut out, Farm Fresh. And I've been testing colors right there, but on my chicken, I either have the heart for a wing or this. So, and then I did do up this little cutting board, but I'm going to start by giving my cutting board a coat of antiquing wax, and then I'm probably going to try my hand at either some crackle and some wax, or crackle or wax, or both, I don't know, and some color. Not sure which colors. I'm pretty sure it's going to be some sort of green, because I like green. It's my favorite color. So I'm going to finish doing this and let it dry and pick out my color for my board. Now, while this is drying, I am going to put a coat of the color Khaki by Apple Barrel on my chicken. And I won't paint the wattle or the whatever that thing is, the comb, because I'll paint those red, and the beak will be a beak color. Oh, went down into that. That's okay. It'll cover. I'm just going to coat this, and I'm going to let it dry, and then I'll come back with my red. And I think the red I'm going to use is Folk Art Cardinal Red. This should be an easy project. And I will have this kit in my Buy Me a Coffee shop if anyone's interested. Okay, I have painted the wattle and the comb, and it'll need another coat, and probably this will too. But I have decided for my chicken, I am going to use the heart, a wonky heart that I made. And I'm going to use the same cardinal red on it. Now, I'm going to use my crackle finish, and I was going to put a color down on the bottom, or over this, but I've decided not to. I'm just going to use this Folk Art crackle finish. And I have to let this dry for an hour. All right, the crackle medium is dry, and I am going to use the English Ivy to put on my board. Trying not to repeat too much, but I got to cover it. Okay, now I'm going to do the handle. And let it dry and see what it does. Well, I didn't get much crackle. Well, I did get crackle. I mean, I can really see it, but there's not enough contrast between the dark wood or the stain and the green. So it's not really showing up well, but I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to go over that with some clear wax. And then I'm going to put some dark wax on around the edge. We'll see. Probably all over. Let's see if that helps the crackle show up some. I don't know. If it doesn't, I'm not going to worry about it. This is supposed to be a fun little project that turns out cute, and if that happens, I'm happy with it. Okay, I'll put that back, all this on there. I'll wipe it back real fast. Whoops. And I'll open up my brown Jolie wax. Okay, I thought I was filming, and I went to turn it off, and I turned it on, so I wasn't filming. And I don't know what I caught. What I did, I'm going to explain what I did, because obviously I didn't get it on video. I just sanded the edges of this, put some clear wax on it, and then some Jolie top coat brown wax. Covered it. I didn't get much. I did get crackle, but you just can't see it. There's just not enough difference between the brown and the green. It's just not showing up really. So, but I just went over it with clear wax around the edges and all over it with the brown wax and wiped it back. Went around this, sanded this back, went around and went on it with clear wax, and then the brown wax, and wiped it back. And then I started to turn off my camera, and it was off. But so far, that's what I've done, and I'm trying to figure out what else I want to do to my chicken, because it looks so plain. I'm thinking I might put some polka dots on it. Maybe in black. I don't know. I'm going to sit here and look at it for a little bit and figure out what I'm going to do with it. And then I have my Farm Fresh letters that I need to figure out what color I'm going to paint those, and how, if I'm just going to glue them on there, or maybe put them on some jute as a, as a stringing down like that. I don't know. But I am going to sit here and figure out what I'm going to do. Now, I wanted to let you know that I did take my Distress ink in Walnut, and I have went around because I didn't think it had enough distressing or ink or brown around the edges. So I've done that now. And now I'm going to go around the cutting board itself. Do the same thing. And then figure out what else I'm going to do. Alright, I have some black out here, and my chicken, and a brush. I'm going to put some polka dots on him. And I'll just go till it kind of runs out like that. So it'll be different sizes. I don't really want up there too much, because I'm going to put his eye up there. Whoops. Okay, that looks good for that. But I'm going to have to let it dry, because I'll smear it if I don't. I was just trying to put a little one. There. Now leave it alone. Well, I do need to put his eye on, so I need something smaller. All right, I found a smaller stick. Let's see, probably about right there. That's good. Okay. I'm going to let that dry now before I smear it. Well, I took the letters and I painted them this Salted Caramel by Americana, and it looked plain. So I took this little stick and I took my Warm Buff and just put dots all over it. And I did the same with the heart. It looked plain, so I put some hearts all over it. And now I'm sitting here looking at it, and I'm wondering if maybe I don't want to turn it over and maybe paint the underneath this and try crackling it again with the green on top. I don't know. It wouldn't hurt to try it. If I don't like it, it doesn't really matter. Just spend a little more time on it, that's all. But I did go ahead and put the letters on some jute so I can string them down like that. And I just put them on with my hot glue gun. But I think I am going to turn it over and put this salted caramel on the back side. Just try it. So I need a clean brush. Of course, I'll have to let this dry and then put the crackle medium on it. And I don't know why I didn't get that much crackle out of that, because this Delta's been working, or not Delta, what was it? Folk Art. I've used it and it's worked really well. And this last time it crackled, but just not much. So in there. All right, I'm going to finish this, let it dry, and then put the crackle medium on this. Well, my crackle medium is dry, so I'm going to try it again. Hope I have enough paint pulled out. Okay, I'm going to go this way now. And it is crackling. Pretty good. Now I'm going to let this dry and see how it turns out. Okay, here's how my crackle turned out. And with my chicken, I'm not real sure whether I like the crackled side or I don't just like the dark side. But I'm going to, before I make up my mind, I'm going to do just what I did on this one. And I'm going to coat this with clear wax. And then I'm going to put some of the Jolie on there. And I'll come back and we'll see which side I think I like. Alright, I've put the clear wax on there and the dark wax. And then went around the edges. And it looks better. Let's see. There it is. Like that. Which is okay. Because it has the same color as the letters. But I still think I might like the dark side. Just plain dark. I mean, it has a little bit of crackle and stuff in it. And that, you're not going to really see it when it's put up on the cabinet. But I think I like the dark. And then I made this bow, and when I tied it off, I just cut off one piece of the jute, because I tied it with jute, and then just wrapped the other one around to make a hanger, because I thought, well, you don't want to use the easel, and you want to hang it. If I could get that in there, I could just do that. And then if I didn't want the bow on it, you can just remove it. Or take that off, put that there, and put it on the easel, whatever. But that's just ideas. But yeah, I think I like it on the dark side. So now I am going to start putting it together. I am going to put this on, we'll probably just connect it back here with some hot glue so it can hang. And put some hot glue and some permanent hold glue on that. And it will be finished. And I'll have to decide whether I want to keep the bow on it or if I want to put... I think I'm going to put it above my cabinet. So I'll probably want to put this on the back That way it can stand up on its own. And if I want to use the bow, I can put the bow on it wherever I want it, if I want to use it. Now this project should be easy to do. I have another rooster, chicken, whatever, and I am going to use antique white on him, and on the this and that, I can't always lose the name of them, cardinal red, and then on the beak, golden sunset. And then I have a wing, probably the white. So I am going to start off by painting the red and the beak, and then I'll let it kind of dry so I can then paint the antique white. And this should go together rather fast. Well, I have the beak painted and the wattle and the comb. There, wattle and comb. It came to me. And now I'm just going to go over the chicken with, what is it, Antique White by Apple Barrel. And I'm not for sure if I'm going to just leave it like that, or I'm going to put some polka dots on it, or make it whimsical. I don't know yet. I have them painted and dried, and I'm just going to sand him back on the edges a little bit. Just so my distress ink will show up better. Now I'm going to take my distress ink in walnut and go around the edges. Okay, that is finished. And now right here on his, right here, I'm going to float just a little bit of brown. And I don't have as dark a brown as I want, but I didn't want to go looking for it. Okay, that is finished. Okay, I'm going to now, off camera, do the same thing on the little wing. Now, I think I'm going to polka dot him, because he just looks too plain. And I'm just using a dowel rod. Oops, got to go straight down. That is probably enough. And I don't know if I'm going to do it to the wing or not. I need kind of a small one right here, I think. Well, there. And I did put a little dot there for the eye. And this wing will be in here. And I'm going to let that dry, and then I think I'm going to distress it. Now I'm taking my little finger sander and kind of distressing back the polka dots. I think I'm going to wait right in there because it looks like it might be a little wet on that one and that one. And then I'm probably going to clear wax it and maybe put some dark wax on it. I'm not sure, but I'm going to let this dry and I'll finish that, and then I'll figure out just what I'm going to do. Doing the red a little bit. And I did put a little dot of white in the eye right there. Okay, I did go over it with some clear wax, the Fusion clear wax. And now I'm going over it with some of the Jolie brown. I don't want to wipe it all back because I want it to look older. Okay, that is good. Now, this is what I'm putting it on. So I think I'm going to get my drill and put some holes in here and get some wire so this can be hung. And I've got to glue my wing on. I have put the wire on it, and I've glued the wing on, and now I'm going to glue the chicken on. And I'm using the Quick Grip Beacon Quick Grip. I really like this stuff. It's just all-purpose cement glue. It gives you can put it down, you have time to maneuver it around, but it dries fast. I really like it. About right there. And I don't know yet if I'm going to put anything else on it. Kind of need to look at it for just a little bit. I think it needs maybe a little piece of raffia or a little piece of material there, something. Or maybe not. I'm going to look at it for just a bit. Well, I pulled out some material, and I didn't put a lot on it or anything. It's just small, simple. And I think it sets it off. I just pulled out some different materials I thought would go with it and made just a little tiny, tiny bow there. And I'm wondering if I need a button there or something. Maybe not. I don't know. I have one more chicken. And he is the same, I think, as, yeah, same pattern really as this one. I just kind of widened him out and put a different wing on him. And he's just going to be a shelf sitter. You can stand up by himself. And I'm going to start by doing the... And you can see I've had this trace because I was going to take it out on my... and cut it out with my scroll saw. And I thought, no. The laser will do it in 2 passes. I just stuck it in there. And went 2 passes and cut out perfectly. So I let it do the work. But I had it traced, going to take it out in the garage and cut it out with my scroll saw. All right, I'm going to paint this. This is the cardinal red. This is going to be cardinal red. This is going to be the golden sunset. And I'm going to do the chicken in black. All right, I have painted the beak and the comb and that, and I painted the wing. I've painted it the antique white by Apple Barrel. And then I'm just going to paint the rooster or the chicken, whatever. It's a rooster, I think. It has that big tail. I'm just going to paint it black. Now, I have my finger sander and sanding the edges. And then I'll go over it with some clear wax and some dark wax. I was thinking about putting polka dots on this one too, but I thought, no, the other two have polka dots. So, maybe not. We'll see. It's towards the end, and I look at it. That's when I really decide what I'm going to do. Because I never know. Now, I've also decided, since I went around the edges, I'm going to distress him because I'm not going to put polka dots on him. So, that's what I'm doing to the Rooster now. And I just took the little skewer and put it in my antique white and dotted his eye. And when it's dry, I'll probably put a little tiny dot of black on it. Now, I think I'm just going to let that dry, and I think I'm just going to put the brown wax on it. I don't think I'm going to put any clear. Okay, I have decided that I am going to put my Rooster on this bed spring. And to get it to stay on there, or give it something to grip on with, I'm going to glue this little piece of wood on there first and let it dry, because I'm going to put it on with some hot glue and then the Beacon Fast Set glue, and I'll have to let that dry, and then that will give this base of this something to stick to, because there's really nothing for it to really grab onto.